Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You're all the reasons why this keeps going. Thank you. Join the Legion today at patreon.com/63rdlegion for free and help decide next week's new character. Joining my paid tiers allows you early access to my content, a shout out in my videos, and home-brewed 5e items for your games. Today, it's time for the most terrifying creature in Warhammer 40K, the Culexus Assassin. We'll get to why I said that in a second. First, we need to understand something important about magic in the 40K lore. In 40K, magic is derived from the energy of the warp. The warp lies just underneath the veil of our reality, and is what can be considered an unreality where emotions are physical. Every living creature has a connection to the warp regardless of if they can manifest magic. Psykers are those who can channel the warp to use it to perform amazing feats with a varying scale of power between them. With weak Psykers able to feel emotions of others or read minds, with the stronger ones able to break reality and do whatever they want. Now, why is this important to this build? Because there is another type of creature we must talk about: blanks. A blank is not connected to the warp, and because of this, they have interesting effects on the world around them. When a blank stands next to a normal person, the normal person begins to feel uneasy because of what is called the blank's null field. Now, when a Psyker stands next to the blank, they lose the ability to maintain or cast spells. Like Psykers, blanks are on a scale, and the Culexus are the highest type of blank. While not wearing their animus speculum, the Culexus emits a massive null field. Normal people within the null field begin to feel anxiety, paranoia, and fear as their connection to their soul begins to lessen. The closer they are to the Culexus, the stronger the feeling becomes, which can cause panic attacks, cold sweats, and heart palpitations. If a Psyker or being created from the warp stands next to a Culexus, they gain a much more profound effect as they are completely cut off from the warp. Losing their powers and abilities, they also begin to feel spasms of pain and panic. The repressing effects of the animus can also be turned the other way, focusing the null field into an intense blast of anti-psychic energy that can destroy the minds of their targets and end them. They are also armored in a suit that allows them to become invisible and absorb warp energy to better counter Psykers. When not being used in warfare, the Culexus are kept within the Fortress of the Soulless with other blank warriors that serve under the God Emperor. When they are called to war, it is a matter of dire importance and danger, and they must be accompanied by a member of the God Emperor's own bodyguards. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook and Xanathar's Guide to Everything. We're using standard point array to keep things simple, and we are not multi-classing. Make Charisma 15, Dex 14, Strength 13, Con 12, Intelligence 10, and we're going to dump Wisdom with an 8. It's not important for this build, so we can walk away from it pretty easily. The Culexus is a human. Resourceful grants you a free inspiration after you finish a long rest. Skillful grants you a free skill of your choice. Take stealth. Versatile grants you a free origin feat. For this origin feat, Alert adds your proficiency bonus to your initiative rolls, and if you have a willing ally, you can switch places with them before combat begins in the initiative order if both of you are not incapacitated, which might be helpful if your team is facing off against a magic user and you need to slow them down. To end out your lineage, you know the language Common and 2 more of your choice. For background, place +2 into Dex and +1 into Charisma. For your origin feat, Tough gives you double your current character level in HP and then adds +2 HP each time you level up. For skills, take Investigation and Arcana. Finally, for your bonus proficiencies, take what you want. We never really see what a Culexus can do outside of driving people insane by just standing there, mostly because you're kept locked away in a fortress until you're needed. Level 1 bards start off with 3 skills. Take Athletics, Acrobatics, and Intimidation. You are proficient in simple melee weapons, light armor, 3 musical instruments of your choice, and the saving throws, Dex, and Charisma. I've always envisioned Culexus assassins as having a lot of hobbies since they are legally forbidden from leaving their fortress, so musical instruments kind of make sense to me. Bardic Inspiration allows you to inspire your teammates. Choosing a character that can see or hear you within 60 feet, you use your bonus action to give them a d6 that they can use within the next hour for any d20 test. A creature can only have one bardic inspiration at a time, and you can give out a number of bardic inspirations that equal your charisma modifier per long rest. I know a few of you are going, how the hell is a Culexus inspiring? Well, answer me this. Would you be inspired enough to get your mission done quickly if your teammate is a soulless, insanity-causing killer and is looking at you like they're wondering if you're actually trying your hardest? Spellcasting grants you magic of your own. You can prepare a total number of spells each day after a long rest that is indicated on your bard features. At the end of a long rest, you can switch out these spells for different ones, and you can use any musical instrument that you are proficient with as a spellcasting focus. Though if you would rather have an animus speculum, talk to your DM about a mass that acts as a spellcasting focus. You're starting off with 2 cantrips and 4 first level spells. For your spells, Vicious Mockery weaves terrifying psychic energy into your words, forcing a wisdom save on a creature within 60 feet. If they fail, they take 1d6 psychic damage, and they will now have disadvantage on their next attack before the end of its next turn. Light gives you a flashlight by touching one large or smaller item that isn't being worn or carried by someone else. For 1 hour, the object sheds bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light in an additional 20-foot radius. Dissonant Whisper sows anxiety and paranoia within a creature that is within 60 feet of you. Targeting this creature, you force a wisdom save, and if they fail, they take 3d6 psychic damage and must use the reaction, if available, to run away from you. Cure Wounds heals you 1d8 plus your charisma modifier. Detect Magic allows you to sense magical energy within 30 feet of you for 10 minutes while you maintain this spell. And with an action, you can tell what school of magic the energy comes from. For your final spell, take what you want. Level 2 Bards gain Expertise. This doubles your proficiency bonus to 2 skills you have. Choose Stealth and Intimidation. Jack of all Trades now adds half your proficiency bonus to all skills you are not proficient in. For your new spell, take what you want. All the spells we want are at higher levels. Level 3 Bards now have access to their subclass. Whispers from Xanathars is really good at sowing fear and paranoia. Psychic Blades add psychic damage to your melee attacks. When you hit a creature with a melee attack, you can expend 1 use of your bardic inspiration to add 2d6 psychic damage to the attack. You can do this once per turn. Words of Terror sow fear in a humanoid you interact with for 1 minute. After the minute is up, you force a wisdom save, and if they fail, they are now frightened of you for 1 hour or until they are attacked, take damage, or witness an ally being attacked or damaged. A creature frightened has disadvantage on all attack rolls and skill checks while they can see what is frightening them, and they can't willingly move closer to the source of the condition. If they pass the save, they have no clue you attempted to do this. You can use this feature once per short or long rest. You now have 2nd level spells, and it's time to start getting your nullifying abilities. Silence creates a 20-foot radius sphere out to 120 feet from you. Within the sphere is total silence, and nothing can be heard from within or from outside. A creature inside is immune to thunder damage, and all abilities that requires them to speak do not work. You know, like the verbal components of spells. You must maintain this spell for 10 minutes. Level 4 Bards earn our first ability score improvement, Raise Your Charisma for a stronger spell DC. For your new spell, Invisibility phases you slightly out of reality, rendering you invisible for 1 hour while you maintain the spell. This ends if you cast a spell or deal damage. For your new cantrip, take what you want. Level 5 Bards receive Font of Inspiration. You can now regain all used bardic inspirations after a short or long rest. You can now also burn a spell slot to regain a bardic inspiration. Speaking of bardic inspirations, yours are now d8s. You also receive 3rd level spells. For your new spell, Fear awakens dread within those that see you. Emitting a 30-foot cone from you, you force a wisdom save on everyone within. Should they fail, they are now frightened of you for 1 minute while you maintain this spell. They must now drop everything they are holding and must use the dash action on their turn to escape you, and can only retake the save when they break line of sight from you. Non-detection makes you hidden from the warp. For 8 hours, you cannot be targeted by a divination spell or spied upon by magical means. These spells include Hunter's Mark, Scrying, Arcane Eye, Detect Thoughts, and such. You've reached character level 5, bring your proficiency bonus to +3. Vicious Mockery now deals 2d6 psychic damage. Level 6 Whisper Bards gain Mantle of Whispers, which really isn't you, but it actually fits the whole assassin theme. Now when a humanoid dies within 30 feet of you, you can magically capture the shadow with a reaction, and hold it till you use it or finish a long rest. With an action, you can use the shadow to assume the form of the dead humanoid for 1 hour, or until you end it with a bonus action. While you're in the guise of the dead humanoid, you learn information that they would share freely, but not personal information, just enough to pass yourself off as them. If another creature attempts to incite you, you gain +5 to your deception check. You can use this feature once per short or long rest. For your new spell, Dispel Magic lets you shut down magical effects of 3rd level or lower within 120 feet of you. You can shut down higher level effects by upcasting this or attempting to contest the spell with a DC of 10 plus the spell level. Level 7 Bards now have Counter Charm. Now if you or a creature you can see within 30 feet fails a saving throw, and now has the Charmed or Frightened conditions, you can use your reaction to re-roll the save, and now the save is at advantage. You also now have 4th level spells. For your new spell, Railothan's Psychic Lance fires a beam of intense psychic energy out to 120 feet at a creature you can see or name, forcing an intelligence save. If they fail, they take 7d6 psychic damage and are incapacitated until the start of your next turn. An incapacitated creature can't speak, can't take actions, bonus actions, or reactions, and automatically drops concentration on maintaining spells. Level 8 Bards earn another ability score improvement to cap off Charisma. For your new spell, Shatter throws a grenade out to 60 feet and explodes into a 10-foot radius sphere. Every creature within the sphere must make a con save or take 3d8 thunder damage on a failure. Level 9 Bards receive 2 more Expertise. Place this into Athletics and Acrobatics. You also receive 5th level spells. For your new spell, Synaptic Static creates a 20-foot radius sphere out to 120 feet. Every creature in the sphere must make an intelligence save or take 8d6 psychic damage. Also on a failed save, for the next minute, the affected target has its mind clouded. While affected, the creature must subtract 1d6 for all their attack rolls and skill checks, and must subtract 1d6 from con checks made to maintain spells. At the end of each of their turns, the affected creature must make an intelligence save to end the spell. You get 1 more spell here, have fun choosing. You've hit character level 9, bring your proficiency bonus up to +4. Level 10 Bards gain Magical Secrets. You can now pull spells from the Druid, Cleric, and Wizard spell list. You can even replace spells you got at earlier levels with spells from this list. Your Bardic Inspirations are now D10s. For your new spell, Counterspell lets you attempt to stop a mage's casting. As a reaction, when you see a creature cast a spell with verbal, somatic, or material components, you force a con save. If they fail, the spell is negated, and their spell slot is wasted, as well as whatever they use to cast it, meaning an action, bonus action, or reaction. Mind Sliver fires a bolt of psychic energy at a creature within 60 feet, forcing an intelligence save. They take 2d6 psychic damage on a failure and must now subtract 1d4 from their next saving throw before the end of your next turn. Level 11 Bards now have 6 level spells. For your new spell, Eye Bite targets one creature within 60 feet and forces a wisdom save. If they fail, they are now affected by one of 3 effects of your choice for 1 minute while you're maintaining the spell. While this spell is active, you can also target other creatures with the spell, but can't target a creature that has succeeded against it. For the effects, you really only want one. The affected target now has the Frightened condition, and on its turn, must use the dash action to move away from you. If it moves at least 60 feet away from you and can't see you, the effect ends. The other effects cause the affected creature to fall unconscious or gain the poison condition, both of which are actually really good, but we just came for the scary. You've hit character level 11, Mind Sliver and Vicious Mockery now deal 3 damage dice each. Level 12 Bards earn another ability score improvement. Let's grab a feat. Mage Slayer adds +1 to your strength and will help you against spellcasters. First, if you damage a creature maintaining a spell, they now have disadvantage on the con save to maintain the spell. Also, if you fail an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma saving throw, you can instead succeed on the save. You can do this once per short or long rest. Level 13 bards receive 7th level spells. For your new spell, Pass Without a Trace adds +10 to your stealth checks and the stealth checks of any creature you choose within 30 feet, but they must remain within 30 feet of you to maintain the bonus. You've reached character level 13, bring your proficiency bonus up to +5. Level 14 Whisper Bards gain their final subclass feature, Shadow Lore. Now with an action, you can now sow paranoia within a creature. Choosing a creature within 30 feet, you force a wisdom save if they can understand one language you speak and can hear you. If they fail, they are now charmed by you and are so afraid of you they obey your command for the next 8 hours or until you or your allies attack it. They will not take a course of action that will harm it or fight with you unless it is within its own interests, but will do all it can to help you. At the end of the 8 hours, it will come to its senses but will not understand why it acted like this, which is very much in the lore of a Culexus. You can use this feature once per long rest. Level 15 bards now have 8th level spells, and it's finally time for your true null field. For your new spell, Anti-Magic Field creates a null field bubble around you for 1 hour while you maintain this spell. This field is 10 feet from you, and now magic can't work within the field. Spells cannot target anyone in the field, magic area of effect stop dead, magic items lose their abilities, and teleportation is off. The only things that can work within the field are artifacts or a god's power. Nothing can stop the null field, including dispel magic and another anti-magic field. Oh yeah, your bardic inspiration is now maxed out at a D12. The null field was more important to talk about. Level 16 bards earn another ability score improvement. Place this into Dex. Level 17 bards receive 9th level spells. For your new spell, Weird amps up the dread you're bringing to the table, unleashing a 30-foot radius sphere out to 120 feet. Everything within the sphere must make a wisdom save or take 10d10 psychic damage and become frightened. For 1 minute while you maintain this spell, the frightened creature must make a wisdom save at the end of each of their turns, or take another 5d10 psychic damage, ending the spell if they pass. You've reached the final milestone, character level 17, maxing out your proficiency bonus at +6 and maxing out the damage of Mind Sliver and Vicious Mockery at 4 damage dice each. Level 18 bards gain superior inspiration. When you roll initiative, you can regain uses of bardic inspiration, but can never be more than 2 uses. For your new spell, Mind Blank stops psykers from playing with your mind. For 24 hours, your mind is shielded. You are immune to psychic damage, immune to the charm condition, your thoughts cannot be read, you cannot be tracked by magic, can't sense your emotions, spy on you remotely, magic can't gain information on you, and you can't be controlled. Level 19 bards earn an epic boon. You can now choose from an ability score improvement, a feat, or an epic boon feat. Now there's a lot of good boons, but I'm going to leave that for you to decide. For me, I'm going to grab an ability score improvement and cap off Dex for better stealth. For your new spell, take what you want. Our final level is level 20 Bard, and you get the ultimate form of your animus, Words of Creation. You automatically gain the 9th level spells Power Word Heal and Power Word Kill. And when you cast either of these spells, you can target a second creature within 10 feet of the first. Power Word Killed fires your animus speculum at a creature within 60 feet. If the creature has 100 HP or less, they simply die. But if they have over 100 HP, they instead take 12d12 psychic damage as their brain is fried. Power Word Heal targets one creature that you can see within 60 feet, including yourself. The target regains all of its HP and then removes the following conditions: Charmed, Frightened, Paralyzed, Poison, and Stun. Also, if the creature is prone, they can now use the reaction to stand up. That's not really you, but who cares, you can kill with a look. For your final spell, take what you want. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 14, Dex 20, Con 12, Intelligence 10, Wisdom 8, Charisma 20. Let's dive in. Let's just start with your null field. You can shut down magic, counter it, stop it from being used. You can't be targeted by certain types of magic, make it harder to maintain spells, or just automatically stop concentration, stop effects on yourself, pass saves freely, and frankly, you're just the very definition of the term blank. You can also break minds and spirits in a number of ways. Your intimidation skill is +17, you can scare people by just speaking a word, unleash waves of fear, and your animus speculum can melt people's brains. Whether using its cantrip form to cause 4d6 psychic damage or its ultimate form to just plain kill, you're dealing damage that is very rarely seen for resistances and immunities. Finally, you're just awesome all around. All your skills are getting bonuses, your stealth is great with plus 27, you can go invisible, your initiative is plus 11, can switch places in initiative order to better stop spellcasters, can grant D12s to your party, and to round it all out, your health is over 160, taking the average. Downside. Firstly, concentration. You have a lot of spells that are required to be maintained and they can't stack together. Your wisdom is garbage, so until you get different magical defenses, you will be targeted. Your range is very poor for most of your abilities. Finally, fluff-wise, you're not a Culexus, just another spellcaster. You're great for nullifying spellcasters, but against another blank or mage hunter, your tactics can be turned against you. This is magic countering magic. It's time to serve the God Emperor the best way you can. Bring the fear and shatter those who stand against him. I'd like to give a special shout out to my Artificer tier. Thank you John Martin, Christopher R. Hunter, Java Squirrel, Matthew Dens, Burton, and Jonathan Haynes. You guys rock. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. And make sure to check out my Patreon where you can help decide next week's new character.